Hi everyone, welcome to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy and this is a sofa Sunday, and I used to do these quite often, and now I did one a week or so ago, but I used to do them regularly and I haven't for a while. But instead of a whip Wednesday, it's kind of a sofa Sunday, and I would be on the sofa if I had a sofa in the yarn room. So maybe it's not an apt name anymore, but let's just go with it. So I've kind of got a few whips on the go. Some are long term, and you probably know what they are if you've been with me a while. There's my willow blanket, which is a giant blanket. Sometimes I get it out and think it's big enough, why don't I just stop? Then other times I think no, because I want it for the winter all the way along so that we can both cover up underneath it. So I'm kind of in two minds about that one. Then there's the chunky mile a minute, and I'm going to put links to both of those at the end of the video if you haven't seen them already. And that's just too thick and warm to work on at the minute, so that's got to stay a whip. There's probably others. There's that mosaic granny square blanket that I started many years ago. Then when I got it out, Gary decided he liked it and I should carry on. So I will do that one, but I need to sort out all of my little odds and ends of yarn, which I have done mostly. But the three that I've got kind of ongoing and will finish soon, and this one will become a tutorial. It's for a cowl which becomes a face covering. So I did it as a cowl last year as just a ribbed cowl, like just this. It was made out of ice yarn magic glitz, and I made it for Gemma, who asked me to make her one that she could pull up like this for work because she goes in and out of freezers and chillers, but she doesn't anymore. So I made her one, and then I made Charlotte one from 4-weight yarn. The one I made Gemma was 3-weight because it was ice yarn magic glitz, which is a 3-weight. But this one I'm making out of Red Heart Unforgettable. Aha, there it is, hiding behind my whip box. So this is the one that I'm using. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's called Stained Glass, and I love this one. It's just so pretty. I've got 2 skeins, and I'm going to be using a bit of that skein to finish it because it's nowhere near done. So what I'm doing the bottom of it in I don't know, many of you may not have seen this stitch, but I do have it on my channel because it's kind of one that I invented. It's called Crochet Rock Stitch. So it works better in a round. So as this is in a round, I thought I'd start with that. And that way it would be nice and wide at the bottom to go around the neck area like this. So I might finish it off a little bit more and just make it kind of like a scooply, that's probably not a word, but a crinkly edge. God, scalloped, or even a shell. Got a fibre now. Put a different edging on it anyway because it has a tendency to roll. And then I did lots of decreasing and started ribbing so that it fits snug like this. So that's not only warm, it's also good for COVID-19. When you've got to go places and wear a face covering, be perfect. So I'm going to be finishing that off, and then I'll do a tutorial for that one. So that's whip number 1, and I love the way it's striping. It's such lovely yarn, really is. I'd wanted that for a long time, and I believe Jane sent me that. I'm not sure if that's the one she sent me. I think it is. So then my second whip, which is more or less finished, is the blanket, which I did the tutorial for a little while ago, and I just need to finish off with an edging, but I'm trying to incorporate these squares in that edging. I'm thinking hard of an edging I can do that will kind of, because it kind of goes in like a little, not fan, but it has a natural curvature to these squares and that edging, and I thought maybe I could, rather than get rid of it like I usually do, maybe I could make a feature of it somehow. So I'm working on that one, but that is the blanket that I've just done. It's kind of lots of different squares, but you can choose your color schemes. Now that's on up as a tutorial as well, and I'll put a link to that at the end. As long as I can remember to do these, that's fine. So now, excuse me if I disappear. Oopsie, bag fell on the floor. I just want to show you the stool that I'm covering. Now these are the legs now. They're kind of black with the shiny paint on. I've yet to do the spray paint on the bottom. I will do that, but it's very windy out. I don't want to do it inside, and it's very blustery, so I'm just going to end up with gold freckles to match the ones I already have. Would look a bit weird. So and I don't know whether to cover it or not, because if I put this, where are we? Let's find one of my sides. If I put that over it, I can see if it will sort of shine through, and if it's annoying that it's shown. No, it's not too bad. That fits well. So I don't really, that's answered my question. I don't really need to cover the stool, because the actual cover that's on it is bobbly, and it has various bits that are sort of stuck to the bobbles, and I will clean that off obviously, but it's got a bobbly texture. But I did wonder if the red would show through. Oh, hello, sorry about that. So yeah, these are the squares that I've done along the long side, and I've got individual ones already made to do 3 along that edge. Whoopsie. And as you can see, yarn room's getting rather full already. So I've done that. So now, no, I don't really want to leave it. Just bear with me while I make my stitch longer so I don't pull it out. But this is how I'm doing the actual top. So what I decided to do was miniature ones of these that are on the outer edge, and do like 3 in the center, and then start making kind of the next. I did two rows in between, and then this one will probably have 3 rows, the next one will have 4 rows, and then I'm going to hopefully end on a gold row, so then I can fit it together in exactly the same way as I did the sides with these ridges, and that'll be all around the top, and all around the sides will be these ridges. But hope you like my my top design so far. Anyway, I just thought it looked broke up the plainness, although this yarn is amazing. I do have some already, well, not used, so not the right way. It's Ice Yarn Universe, and although it is pretty stunning, you couldn't say it was plain, but I thought to just do the top without a breakup would be just a bit plain, and I wanted it to pop. So I figured I would just make a little feature of these centres and then break it up with the gold of the Ice Yarn Rockstar, which I have to say, these are identical. This Rockstar and Universe, they're identical. They're the same yarn, just this is plain and this is not. So those are my whips that I've got going at the moment, and I must remember that that's the hook for that one. I hate that when I kind of stop doing something for a little while and then I go back to it and I think, what hook was I using? I really must be a little bit more on the ball with that, because I've been putting my whip in a basket like this, and in there I just put everything I'm using, including the hook. But the other day I had 2 things in there, so I had 2 hooks, and I thought, oh no, now what have you done? So I must start to write it down and sort of do myself a favour, really. But that's it. So I've not got much to do. This won't take me very long at all. It's coming on really, really nicely, so I haven't got far to go before that will be finished. And then I've just got to figure out a way to get round the legs and secure it underneath and finish spraying the legs before I put it on. Now I don't know whether to go over the legs more with the glitter, because some of the illustrations of that paint that I've seen, it's been really, really dense on there, and so it's very, very sparkly. At the moment it's just black with a bit of glitter, but I could just go the whole hog and really vajazzle it. So I'm not really sure what yet I want to do. I did look into while I went to DIY shop today, and while we were there I had a look at the lacquer. So because at the moment the paint that I used was matte, and then I put the glitter on the top. Although it's sparkly, it's still got a matte finish, so I thought I could spray that and lacquer finish it, and then it would be shiny as well, like a very high gloss, as well as blackened with shiny bits. But I didn't want to pay that much for one can of paint to do 4 legs, so I'm going to look online to see if I can find it cheaper, because it's quite an expensive shop, that, and I possibly could find it cheaper. When I look at it, it's not really that expensive. It's just me being miserly, really. But if I can get it a little bit more reasonable, I will. So that's basically my whips to date. So I've kind of got in a good position where they're on their way out, and I've got a lot of them finished. I had so many things hanging over me. I had the Dougie blanket, and there was 2 other blankets that needed edging and stuff like that, but I didn't know how to edge them until I knew the sex of the baby, and I had a few bits and bobs that needed doing, and I've finally been getting through them and done them. And so that's a really good feeling when you finish them. There's nothing worse than knowing that you've got all these whips that you've just not, you know, this one needs that doing, this one, and they're all waiting for you to finish, and they're hanging around. But I'm clearing the decks. It's a really good feeling. I'm not going to clear them all, as I say, because there's those 3 blankets that are long-term projects. And the trouble with those is there's never a rainy day to think, oh no, I'll get that whip out, and it just doesn't get added to. But I really, really must at some point get stuck into them. Anyway, that's all I've got for my so far Sunday. I'm going to go and make a shepherd's pie for our dinner today, and I've got that off to a bit of an art now. It's quite nice and within the diet, so that's not bad. And I'm drinking a cup of, I know that looks disgusting, but that's just what my black tea does to the cup, and every now and then I'll bleach it. It is clean, but it's not, if you know, it's just ingrained. But I've got a cup of Lavazza coffee, which is really nice. So thanks for watching, and stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, everyone.